What's up, Heather Sword? What's up, Brian Milky? And wait a minute, I forgot to play one more intro. So we'll skip it. We'll skip that one tonight. We'll skip that one. What's up, guys? What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Yeah, just chilling out. I actually like the intros. It builds the suspense. It's good. I just feel like when people join like 5 minutes after they get the notification, they miss all the good bits at the beginning. But yeah, if you haven't seen the intros, definitely go back and check them out because they are really good.
Yeah, I decided to, we scheduled the stream for 6:30, so I made that one for our Star Wars stuff, and I made another one for our House of the Dragon breakdowns. And I just figured I'm like, start that up 2 minutes before the stream actually is supposed to go. And then the hope is that you get more people in the stream, like you said. Then we start talking, and like you come in 3-4 minutes in after the stream started, and you've already missed, whatever. So, but yeah, that's kind of the whole point of it. So. But I hope everyone's having a good Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And today we're going to be talking about a Star Wars character who I don't believe is a mother. But will she be back? That's the big question that we're going to be talking about tonight. So I dropped the video yesterday on Barriss Offee's arc. And it's doing pretty good. And a lot of comments on it. So people were definitely all over the place in this one. I know, Ryan, when we did the watch party, I know you really enjoyed it. I actually gave this one a little bit lower of a score than I did for Morgan. And I think I've since now actually brought the score lower. But I did rewatch the entire thing today. So this is my third time of the watch through. And I was really listening. I really wanted to pay attention, especially in the second and third part of the arc. Because the first part, I thought was fantastic. I loved it. Like, I would give that a 10 out of 10. It's just where they decided to go with it. And then the last arc, I just didn't like it at all. The second arc, fine, I can deal with it. But the third arc, I hate it. I hated the third episode. And we'll talk about it when we get there tonight. So, guys, don't forget, smash that like button if you haven't already. And there's also a poll. Which of the Tales of series arcs do you like the best? So in Tales of the Jedi, we had Count Dooku and Ahsoka Tano. And then obviously in Tales of the Empire, we had Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offee. So let us know, and we'll check the poll later on tonight and see what you guys are thinking. So, all right. So we have a little slideshow. Boom, there it is. All right. Before we get started,
so I just want to preface. Yeah, I was just going to say I want to preface that going into this, the two arcs that we got were clearly not what I thought we were going to get, with the title being Tales of the Empire. I definitely feel like both of the story arcs that were told were completely off the scale to what a lot of fans probably wanted or expected from the series. That being said, the Barriss Offee one was better for me because it reminded me of the time when I was watching the Clone Wars and the Rebels, and I didn't know any of this stuff. So getting to watch new animated stuff brought me back to that kind of feeling where I was learning again with Star Wars. So it's probably one of the main reasons as to why I like this more, because I was expecting more with the Thrawn stuff and I didn't get it, so I was disappointed.
Yeah.
And then I got more lightsaber stuff. I got the Return of the Inquisitor and all that kind of stuff in this. So yeah, that's probably why I like it more.
Yeah, I know we talked a little bit about this last week too. I mean, they definitely it is a couple odd choices. The Morgan one at least makes sense to me though, because she is part of the Empire. Where Barriss, we'll talk about it, but we'll see what happens at the end. If you haven't seen it, spoilers obviously, but it's a total 180 on this. I mean, I don't know. I just we'll talk about it.
We'll get to it. Yeah. Hey Kenneth, welcome in. Hey Poppin.
What's up, Poppin? What's up, Kenneth Bird? All right, so we're gonna break this thing down here. So the first episode, and this was actually episode 4 of the series, but it is episode 1 of her arc. And this one is titled Devoted. All right. So we start off. We are literally. So just to give you guys a quick little backstory, if you don't know. So Barriss Offee was in Clone Wars season 5. That's when she left. She was arrested for basically. There's a lot more details that go into this, but more or less, she tried to frame Ahsoka Tano for bombing the Jedi Temple. She basically turned her back on all of the Jedi's beliefs. And at the end, Anakin Skywalker ended up capturing her, brought her to trial, and then she was arrested and basically has been in prison. So this actually opens up with her, and you'll see in the next shot here. This actually opens up Did I get rid of that shot? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll slide back here in a minute. But there is your shot at the Jedi Temple. So this isn't the bombing because she's in prison. So what this is Order 66. And I think we had talked about that briefly on the watch party because I think we both noticed that. So this is when Anakin is causing all the hell right now. And that's why, so I don't know, man. How long do you think that's been since she went in prison? I mean, I don't know how many years.
This scene is pretty much, like you said, Order 66, so she's not been in there long.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much straight after.
So basically, you're looking at Clone Wars Season 6 and then Clone Wars Season 7, and then we know at the end of 7, they start blending Order 66 in with it. So if we're just going by that is years, well, it's about, 2 years later? Or, give or take, somewhere in that range, I'm thinking.
Similar shot to Padme as well when she saw the temple burning.
Mm-hmm. But then before she actually looks outside, so she gets a visitor from Lynn. Her name's Lynn, and she's never been in Star Wars before. I had no idea who this was, and basically through their conversation here, we learned that she too is also a Jedi who is now flip-flopped to the dark side, probably because she didn't want to get murdered. You didn't really have much of a choice, and so she's there basically to try to recruit her for the most part, to try to bring her into, Darth's whole thing. It is weird though. Here's my thing with this right here. So if that is Order 66 happening, this is happening right at the same time. So who's instructing her? Is it just Palpatine? You think? Is that who's doing this?
I would say so.
Okay. Because
I believe doesn't the Inquisitor say the Inquisitor repeats one of Palpatine's lines in the first episode about the Galactic Empire.
Yeah. Grand Inquisitor does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think the Emperor's running it all.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I had always thought, from watching Rebels, I always thought the Inquisitors was a
rogue rebel group.
A rogue group that was actually created by Vader. I had no idea it was actually created before he even actually became Darth Vader. So I didn't even know that. Because Grand Inquisitor is already there and already training guys. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't really put that all together. I guess if you think back to Tales of the Jedi with Ahsoka Tano, when she fights that the first brother, it does kind of make sense because I would like to go back and rewatch that now and kind of see where exactly is that taking place, because that's got to be when she's away from Coruscant. So that I guess it does make sense then, because she does return before Order 66. So actually, there you go. There's my answer. I didn't realize that back when Tales of the Jedi came on. So it makes sense now. So it must have been Palpatine. Yep. I guess it could have been Dooku, but it's probably Palpatine. So, but yeah, so she's there basically to recruit her, and then this is the shot we see. And can you hear the younglings? Can you hear the sound of the younglings getting sliced by Anakin? All right, so then we go to some crazy, I don't know, man. What do you call it? It's like a water castle. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Reminded me of, it's in the original. Was the original Superman? I think it was original Superman where the giant Jor-El head is, where Superman kind of goes. I think that was on Earth. I can't remember now. It's been such a long time since I've seen that movie, but I'm pretty sure it's on Earth, and that's like almost like his portal or something. I can't remember exactly what that is. Did you ever see the original Superman?
Yeah, a long time ago though.
Yeah, I know it's very hazy for me. It's been a while, but I know there's some type of thing with ice in the middle of water or something, and that's just what it reminded me of. But anyway, so Lynn takes her here, and she knows some of the other Jedi here. Well, turn to Inquisitor wannabes or wherever you want to call them, but she actually knows a couple of them, and they were kind of shocked to see her there because of everything that had happened, and she was in prison and everything. And then it's cool because we get to see Grand Inquisitor right here, who is basically heading this up and basically trying to convince these guys and train them to see who can become an Inquisitor for Darth. So.
Yep, voiced by the fantastic Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, so good, man.
Great actor, great voice actor, great actor. Why green? I know
So I
why.
don't know. Do you see any resemblance with this?
I know why. I know why green. Yeah, her master was Luminara, and Luminara had a green lightsaber.
So do you think that's her lightsaber? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I wanted to ask you about the lightsabers
Yeah.
because didn't all the lightsabers get burned literally the day after Order 66, and he had a whole array of them.
He has a whole table of them. Yeah. So I'm not
Where
sure.
did Luminara die?
So she died. Well, she was in Attack of the Clones.
Where did she die? Was she in Coruscant? I don't think she was in Coruscant. I think all the ones in Coruscant, all those lightsabers were destroyed the day after. Apparently, that's canon. So,
all right. So I'm looking it up. At the end of the war, sorry, she was arrested and executed at the Darth Vader's. Oh, she was on Kashyyyk.
Okay, so that could make sense. They could have collected her lightsaber.
Yeah. The Galactic Emperor would later use her remains to attract and kill any Jedi that survived Order 66. Oh, yeah, we did see that. When did we... Wait. When did we see that? We saw this. Was that in Clone Wars?
I don't remember that? It all gels together.
Yeah. Do you remember? Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Chad, help us out. Yeah, I remember watching this episode. Remember, she was already dead, and they used it. I think she probably died in the Clone Wars. She had to, because I remember, or was it Bad Batch?
One or the other. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I don't really remember now. That's actually an interesting thing to think about, because now I'm curious. But Star Wars. Okay, it was in Rebels. Here it is, right here. Star Wars Rebels revealed Luminara Undulli's death. So so this was in Rebels. So maybe he was trying to get Ezra there. That's probably what it was. Or I guess it could have been Ahsoka, but yeah. So she died during Order 66. So I guess technically they would have her saber at this point. I don't know.
It could be her saber. Yeah, it could be a callback. I just think the color was more of a callback to her master. I think that was what it was meant to represent.
But why would
more so than it actually being her saber?
So why did you think he didn't do? Why wouldn't he just give her a red saber if he's trying to turn her? That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, why would he give her?
Because it's mind games. It's mind games to start off with, isn't it? You have to infiltrate them slowly, and instead of like giving them a red one, and then she feels like she's like doing something she shouldn't be doing, whereas she's comfortable with the green lightsaber, and he wants her to be comfortable because he says, "Attack me, give me all that you've got." Like, I just think, being comfy in that kind of environment would obviously help having a familiar color, I guess. If you had a red one, you would be thinking, what the hell is this? This is weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. That's a really good point. Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking as well, and I think maybe this would have been more of like a Dave Filoni Easter egg type deal, but like giving her the green, knowing where this is going to head eventually anyways. But I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but who knows really, but it's something I was thinking of. So basically though, he tells her to try to attack, and he doesn't even use a saber, and he's basically just defending himself and just making her miss. It reminds me of Rocky when he's battling Cobra Lang and the Rocky 3. Yeah, because he
reminds me of the Japanese guy in Kill Bill when she's fighting with the samurai and he just moves around and she doesn't get to.
Yeah, but like when Rocky's like trying to punch Clover Lang and Clover Lang, or actually Clover Lang's trying to punch him, and he's like, he just keeps missing him, wearing him out. That's what it reminded me of a little bit, but yeah, the samurai guy too, Kill Bill, another great movie. So I know, I don't know. I think in animated for sure, this is like the first time we've seen any kind of blood, and so she got struck by him, and then she comes back and does like a force push against him and makes his nose bleed. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was almost like an eye for an eye. I mean, it's just her showing that what kind of power she does have. And I think he was impressed.
I never caught that, so good catch.
Yeah, they both. I don't think we've ever really seen blood. Gosh, I don't even know if we've seen blood in the movies, dude. Like, have we actually ever seen blood in Star Wars? I don't think we have. if we have, it's kind of like, like when Luke got knocked off the tauntaun by the Wampa. Like, I know he had some scratches up here, but we don't think we ever actually saw blood. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, but it's interesting that they chose.
I don't think we've seen human blood or like character
Right.
blood. We may have seen like monsters or things like that.
Oh
Creatures.
yeah,
Blood.
you're right. Okay, actually, in A New Hope, when that dude's arm gets cut off, actually there's blood on the floor. So I'm wrong. There you go.
Okay.
But after that, I don't really know if there's much more to that. Because I mean, again, when you kill people with lasers, it's like you're not probably going to have much blood. These were almost like physical strikes. I mean, I know hers was more of a force push, but So one part that I didn't take any screenshots of. So they end up going back to like their cell, I guess, or a holding cell. It was her and her two friends, and the one guy, and I have no idea what their names are. But the one guy ends up saying, like, I'm just going to leave. I don't want to do this. This isn't who I am. And I don't think they try extra hard to keep him around, but they basically say, I wouldn't do that. And basically they are to stay. And then when they meet up with the Grand Inquisitor earlier, or I think before the training actually happens, he says that his friend basically died. They killed him. And now we have this. So he takes the last two. So he takes Barriss and this other Jedi she knew, and basically there's like think of Phantom Menace, right? The lasers, and they kind of like bring the lasers are coming in toward them. So like you don't have a ton of time here to make a decision. So what did you think about this? Did you like this?
Yeah, I loved it. I like my wide shot stuff. I like the shot you got there, for example. I like the drama that it gave. It kind of ramped it up a little bit. I was questioning though, like, what is the end goal here? Why are they trialing these kids? Like, surely you don't need to teach people. Just kill them. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense to me as to why they were going through all these trials. Like, is she going to become a sister? Maybe. Okay, fair enough.
I think
there's too many of them, and it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
So maybe they just do these trials all the time, and that's how we get a brother or a sister, depending on who wins.
It reminds me of like the Hunger Games. Like, I mean, obviously the Hunger Games are something completely different because of the reason, but basically it's kind of like last one standing. Now you're it. So, but I mean, unfortunately, I never really thought that she was ever going to be in any type of danger, So, and then he goes and grabs that saber because they do get it kind of a little like fist fight. There's a couple kicks, and then he does grab the saber. And as soon as he grabs it, it's funny because she goes right to that dark side move of the choke, and ends up killing him before the lasers get over to them. So it's funny that they chose that way for him to die. I mean, again, I guess it does show that she has somewhat embraced the dark side, because I mean that is we never really seen Jedi use it. Like, I know we saw Luke use the crush in Mando season 2, but it really isn't. It's typically a dark side, force. Dark side. What am I looking for? Dark side skill that she's using is the force choke. That's what I'm trying to say. What's up, chillin'? How you doing, man?
You're pretty loud for someone with no head.
And then toward the end of the episode here, we get the lineup, man. We get the lineup. So this isn't the greatest shot, but I should have got the one that they were standing, but I kind of like them kneeling, and because you see Barriss's face so clearly. But on the far end, so furthest one away, that would be the first brother. That is who Ahsoka Tano kills in Tales of the Jedi, which we kind of talked about briefly earlier. And then we also have Merrick, who we saw in Ahsoka. And so that's them. And it's interesting. I really wish they would have taken his helmet off. I want to know, was he human and then reanimated with the Night Sister magic in Ahsoka, because but we don't get it, and he's not in the series anymore. So I don't know. Were you disappointed when those guys? This is all we got of this, or were you like, okay?
A little bit. But I'd already subdued to the fact that it wasn't what we expected it to be. But when we got Night Sister stuff, I liked it, and he is definitely leaving breadcrumbs for these mysterious sisters and brothers, like building into building into the movies or whatever he's working on. But yeah, they did troll us with Vader. Exactly. I completely and utterly agree.
Yeah. Well, and then there you go. I mean, there's Vader.
Good
He
segue.
basically walks in. He has to sit down. I guess he's tired like Yoda, maybe. I don't know. And he breathes, and he doesn't even. He's just watching for like a second, and that's it. We don't get anything else from him. So it definitely was a trolling move by Disney. That's for sure. But it is what it is. It's still cool. It was still cool to see it, but unfortunately, we saw it in the trailer, so it wasn't anything added onto that, I guess. I know I said in my video yesterday, I said, how epic would it have been? I mean, how is this not a miss? How epic would it have been if he would have had some type of conversation with Barriss and then her finding out that was Anakin, the same guy that, when he got her and took her to trial and all that kind of stuff. I think that would have been cool. I would think it would have been cool. I don't know. I feel like it was a little bit of a miss there. But.
I agree. Especially with the uncertainty of the ending, it would have been good with her having that knowledge and then us not knowing whether she made it into another season or not. It would have been good because if she is alive, she has the knowledge of who Vader is, and not many people know who Vader is.
And then to steal a line from Obi-Wan himself, she's now taking her first steps into a larger world. And that is how the episode ends. And I told you before, if this is the first part of the arc, I'm giving this a 10, dude. I loved it. I thought it was great. I love where it was headed. So for me, this was probably the best episode out of the 6 as a single watch. It's unfortunate what comes next is why I don't like it as much. But what do you think? I mean, I know you like the arc, so I mean, you had to love this episode because
I kind of agree that the first episode does set it off on a high standard, though. But to preface, like I said at the beginning of this, I already understood that it was going to be somewhat of a disappointment due to the characters that it was focusing on. But I like it more than the first one. I wouldn't say it's better than Tales of the Jedi as a whole, but I like this arc. So but we are the yin and yang on this, and we usually are. So
yeah. I mean, that's a good point. He says, "I'm glad that she didn't realize that was Anakin. Disney has too many people knowing." Yeah, it's true. Does Cal Kestis know in the games? I can't even remember if he actually knows who he is. I don't think he does. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember now. But they need to just make that a freaking TV show with Cal Kestis, man. But anyway, that's a whole other live right there. All right, so now we're now we're headed over to episode 5, which will be the second part of her arc, and this one is called the Realization. So notice we have a different color here, a little different color. All right, so it opens up on their first mission. And they're coming out of a Imperial shuttle. It's a pretty cool looking shuttle. It's a little bit different. It's a little flatter. It's a really nice ship though. And they're landing on. I don't know if we ever actually get a name of this planet, but they're landing on a planet and they're basically hunting down the Jedi, trying to find Force sensitives. Is more or less what we're doing here. And we get here, and the Force sister starts basically, like, you better tell us what the Jedi are. Kind of like what we did see in Kenobi. Very, very similar.
Yeah, I got those vibes.
Reva acted, and Grand Inquisitor and Fifth Brother, and well, she was in it too. But there's very, very, it's almost the same. Like it's basically
just
looking
animated.
for a Jedi. Yeah. And they know they're there. They got the intel or whatever, or Vader knew, but so yeah. I mean, so that's what they're basically doing here. And then I don't know. What do you think? So we see Barriss, and she sees this little kid, and so she ends up going over to talk to him, and she talks to him like really sweetly, asking her for the information. She even takes her helmet off to show him that they're not like monsters. This is the first part of the episode I hated. Like, I don't know, man. I didn't like it, and I understand. Seeing the whole arc, I understand why they did it. I don't agree with it. So for someone who liked the entire arc the best, why are you okay with this? If we're supposed to be going into the dark side.
Well, I thought it was the story of her going to the light side, but by being tempted by the dark side to initiate it. So her taking off her helmet here was her showing her soul as a Jedi, as somebody who cares for the people of the world and isn't just a slaughterer like the people that she's working for. So I felt like they were slowly building her to see truly what she was in the wrong place. And I just felt like this was a start of it. She was being innocent in a sense, and she was trying to get a bit more out of the person, because you could see that I thought this kid was the Jedi from the start. So
yeah, I think originally I was thinking the same thing. I think we had talked about that a little bit in the watch party, and again, we'll talk more at the end when we go through this whole slideshow, and I'll kind of I'll dive a little deeper into why I just have an issue, but I understand what they're doing, because I mean, right here you could tell, and then the next scene it really starts kicking in.
yeah.
What am I doing? Yeah, Saturdays. Yeah, I mean it goes week to week. Dude, hit me up on Instagram and we'll chat about it. We could definitely make something work out though. But yeah, that'd be fun, dude.
I'm always
all
around.
right. So we have this then. So then they get the information from the kid, and she uses the Force, closes up the doors, like whatever's in front of it. It looks like a bunch of junk, whatever. And then she goes crazy. She goes all Anakin on these folks, and it's a little hard to watch. I mean, they don't really show too much, but yeah, I mean that's like kind of the aftermath shot right there, and they're just all sliced up. You can see the laser sword made that mark right there. The people over here, and again, you can kind of see, and you can kind of see what I'm doing with the text. It's the same thing, but now we're starting to think a little bit. Things are happening in her head now, and she can't believe that what she just saw, And then we leave the kid. She doesn't really say anything to the kid, which I kind of still liked at this point. I remember in the watch party, because I'm like, okay, she saved the kid. I get it. The kid's not the Jedi, so let the kid be. But here on my third watch, I watched this scene today like 4 times, and it's really interesting what happens here. I think this is when she notices, like, she's like, wait a minute, am I actually going to be a bad guy? You know what I'm saying? I think this is when she actually figures it out. Like, this like you said earlier, Ryan, this is not the time. This is not the way I want to live my life. Like exactly what you said earlier. Like, this is when she figures it out.
What's up, Blaze?
What's up, Anthony? Slackers, bro.
I'm engaging in your last name right now. It is a good one. As his co-host, I can get away with saying this. It's probably the best thing about him. It's definitely not his Fortnite skills, I'll tell you that.
Come on now.
Am I the bad guy?
Am I? Well, only when you make fun of me on Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I bring
Thanks
that
for the help.
All right, so I think here, this is eye-opening, because when I was watching this, I'm like, all right, so it's hard to see in the picture, but if you look at the top right, you can see that is Lynn. She's actually climbing up to the next level, or the top of the mountain, right? And she basically has left Barriss kind of falling down, and she's like fending for herself. And I think this is when she truly realizes that if you become this person, you're going to be selfish. You're going to be selfish. You're not going to care about other people. You care about you, and that's it. And I think this shot right here. This is where the entire episode now gets turned. I thought it's powerful. I mean, I think it's good. And again, I may not agree with the arc. I may not agree with where they took the character, but it is pretty incredible that in literally 6 or 7 minutes, there's 3 big things that happen that make you really think about this. And I think it's done brilliantly for how long as the episode is, because these episodes are like 11 minutes or something like that. It's I don't know. So I can definitely appreciate what they're doing here.
Which confuses me, because you gave it a lower score after your third watch, after a good praise thing like that. So I don't know. And maybe after this conversation, it might bump back up again. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll talk about it though too. So, here then we have. So first, and again, we skipped a couple scenes here, but basically they both make it to the top. When Barriss makes it up to the top, they had found the Jedi, and Lynn was actually fighting her. and the Jedi ends up taking Lynn and kind of pushes her off to the side, pushes her off to the side, and then Barriss has to ignite her saber because she's about to strike her down, so she goes in to save her life. And basically, it is funny because this entire thing, you could tell she's conflicted the entire time. And then I skipped something. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But basically, while they're doing this, they're having a pretty good conversation. You know, Barriss is like, "Listen, I can help you. Come with me. Nothing bad will happen. You know, you got to be, you know, something." I think she said something like, "Aren't you tired of running?" And you could tell, man, she's just worn out. This Jedi, I don't even know if we got her name, but you can tell, like, she's just exhausted. You know, and it's kind of a little bit what we saw with Obi-Wan and Kenobi. Honestly, this was probably done better, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, what did you think when she saved Lynn? What were you thinking? Because I know already at this point we were starting to think that she was going to flip flop here, but then she does come back and save her.
I don't know. It was a bit of a twist because I was expecting her to just keep going stronger and stronger to the light side, and she kind of deviated back to helping the people that are making her bad. I don't know. It was hard. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to save her. Maybe she thought she could save Lynn. I'm not sure because she did seem pretty upset with the way the episode transpired with some of the stuff. I would like to have, though, in this scene, I would like the lightsaber to have been green here, so that when she was watching them fight, she could have been envisaging this could have been her, and then she'd had to battle with that internally. As is she watching what could have been her demise, you know, with the green saber and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think Barriss ever wielded green sabers. I think that's why it's so strange because I'm pretty sure in the original Clone Wars she was blue because her master was green. So, like you said earlier, maybe he did that to spark up those memories of her and to get that anger. Because I mean, really, that's what the Inquisitor was trying to do that entire battle. He was trying to infuriate her, and he did because she ended up pushing him that hard where you know we saw the blood. And to me, I mean, so that's probably what it was meant to be green for, is because he wanted to get something that she knew about. And I don't know if she knew that her master had died already. I know that we never really find that out. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, the decisions. But I don't have a problem with the blue because, you know, blue is probably the most common. And, you know, you don't want to have a bunch of guys running around with green sabers because you would think if you have a green saber, you're hopefully trying to help. You're not running, you know, until you absolutely have to. So
Chillin thought they were a dude. I'm going to agree with Chillin. I thought they were a dude as well, the Jedi. I didn't think it was a female.
In the trailer, I definitely did because of the way the hair was tied up the way it was. But yeah, when she talks, yeah, it's a little odd. You know, just basic blue clothes, like not even Jedi robes or anything either. But again, maybe she's trying to blend in. So
I really enjoyed all the lightsaber fights in this arc as well. I thought the lightsaber fights were pretty much the best thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, the lightsaber fight in this episode with just her and Lynn, and I'm talking about the Jedi here. It's a really good battle. I mean, again, it's just a spinning, and you know, she goes with one blade and two blades, and it's pretty cool. I do. I like the Inquisitor lightsabers. It's a really neat thing that they came up with.
Yeah, so I don't quite like the fact that they can fly away on helicopters with them. I don't like that.
Yeah, but notice we really haven't seen that since like season 1. They did that, and I know that they did that with I think at one point the fifth sister and fourth brother. I think they did it in Rebels, but I feel like as the Rebels went on, we saw that less and less. But yeah, it would have been pretty freaking funny to see that in Kenobi, dude.
It was comical, bro, because they're flying off out laughing as they're flying. Like it's just comical.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but so she basically does kind of convince her to kind of like. And I don't think she convinces her to go with her, but they're definitely having a conversation, and you could tell it's actually. It seems like she's basically laying down her weapon, and then sure enough, as soon as you think that everything is good, then you get this big strike in the back by Lynn, and I don't know. I mean, it's a swipe. I don't know if it's a death blow or not. It doesn't seem like it is, but the next thing we see then is that Lynn goes flying. So they end up doing a little fight first, and then she pushes Blinn off the cliff. And then again, of course, we don't know, is she dead? Is she alive? Same thing. Mace Windu fell. We never saw him again, but we've seen other Jedi fall from a big height, and we've seen them. So who knows? What do you think?
Gandalf fell quite far. Gandalf fell really far. So if he can come back, anyone can come back.
Yeah. I don't think I wasn't thinking she was dead here. I just assumed, that she was pushed off, and we would probably see her again. Yeah, there you go.
Reminiscent of Kylo / Infinite. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. Yep. And then basically, now this was interesting. I tried to blow it up the best I could without making grainy, but did you notice this? I did not notice this during the watch party. I didn't even notice this in my second watch. And I don't know, like I said, I was watching on my computer, so it was, it's a lot closer to me. And I noticed that her hand was on his chest. And I'm like, okay, but he didn't get stabbed there, right? She got sliced from the back. But I was like, man, are we seeing some Force healing, or is this an Easter egg, you think, or is this nothing at all, and I'm just making too much out of it? What do you think?
I haven't caught it, and I've watched it twice, so yeah, I have nothing to say on this one because I didn't catch it. Interesting though.
Yeah, I was wondering. All right, we'll come back to that here in a little bit. Actually,
has any other Jedi used Force healing, or is that a Sith prominent thing as well?
Well, Rey did it twice.
Okay, yeah. She healed that snake, right?
Yeah, and then didn't she heal? No, actually, wait, it was the other way around, right? Kylo healed her, so she did it once, I guess. But again, I mean, Force healing has been in like video games for a long, long time. Like, this is not a new Force power that they came up with in in Rise of Skywalker. This has actually been around in video games for quite a while. We just have never seen it. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I was curious with that. All right, so now we are back in the blue. We're back in the light. This one is called The Way Out. And again, if I had to rank these episodes, 10 out of 10 for the first. This one I still enjoyed. I just didn't like where it was going. And I probably still give it, I think I gave the whole thing an 8 last week when we were talking about this. I would give the second episode an 8. I still enjoyed it. It's just the direction of it I didn't like. I didn't like that they were not keeping her as a part of the Empire. Like we had talked about earlier, it is called Tales of the Empire. She was in the Empire for all of 15 minutes. So why is she in this show then? It's odd. It's just weird to me. It's a little bit weird.
Yep. Completely agree. Absolutely agree. But we had to just go with what we got, I guess. And I don't know. Maybe we'll get a season 2. Maybe they're just testing the waters with it. Maybe they were just saying, well, maybe we can get away with getting these stories out there that lay some Easter eggs and some foundations for the coming stuff. And maybe season 2 we can hit them hard with the real Sith stuff. Let's just hope, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all right. So this episode opens up with the family running. They're on some type of winter cold planet, whatever you want to call it. Again, I don't think we get a name for this planet. Obviously it's not Hoth, but it's a Hoth-like planet because it was all that kind of snowy weather, I guess. And then they end up finding Barriss. So she is at, I don't know, man. I guess so. She has secluded herself on this planet, and it's almost like she became this monk or something. And she has people that come see her, and she's there for them because they come in and tell her that they've been running from the Empire. They did a blood test on their son, and they wanted to keep him, and they ended up escaping. And this is how they end up coming to this planet. And, luckily for them, they found a former Jedi, I guess. I just thought it was all really, I don't think they knew where to go. It just seemed very random. Again, if I'm missing something, chat, please let me know. But I don't think it was a planned stop for them. I think they were just trying to find someone. And it just happened to run into Barriss here. But
yeah, again, I think it was, these are short form episodes, as we said last week.
Yeah.
They need to have things just literally in front of the main character's face to keep it moving. If this was a 30-minute episode, we might have seen them walking through, looking, asking other people, and maybe causing a scene. But we have to keep moving because they're very short episodes. So I get it.
Yeah. I don't really know. So they Lynn shows up out of nowhere, of course, and she even says a line, something like, um, I when I'm not actually looking for you, I end up finding you. So the Empire's been looking for her for quite a while. Now you can tell too, if you go back to Barriss's face, um, I mean, she's clearly, this is much older. I mean, this to me is probably, I would say this is probably after Kenobi. Do you agree? Do you think this would be after Kenobi?
Yes.
Like in the timeline, I feel like it's probably after. So I mean, we're getting
Yeah, I
pretty
agree.
close to the we're getting pretty close to, like, Rogue One and all that, or even Rebels. I don't think this is before Rebels. I think this is maybe like right before all that happens. Because remember, Rebels is only a couple years really before the battle of the first Death Star. So, but yeah, I mean, so she's definitely older, but Lynn basically says that, oh, she's out here hunting for force sensitive children, so this is who they were running from. So she ends up finding them. And before this happened, she told the kids and some other girl that was there. I don't even know who she was. I maybe just someone who she lived with or something. I don't know. But she takes them into this giant like cave, and supposedly it's very hard to get through. There's mirrors or I mean not mirrors, but like rocks that are like you see your reflection in it. So it's hard to get through. And they knew the path, and she's like, just take them to the ship and get out of here. And so she stayed back to kind of slow her down. I don't think she ever had any intention of fighting her, because she doesn't even draw a lightsaber, I don't think, here. Because we kind of see the same thing, don't we, that we saw with the Grand Inquisitor. She's using the same skills that he had taught her, in 3 minutes, I guess. But, being able to dodge that lightsaber, and then she goes double blade and she's still dodging it. I thought that was a little silly, but
Wasn't it like an instant callback to like the Kenobi show when Reva was going through the caves and they were behind the wall and he had to get all the people to the ship, and then Vader went the other way around, and it was pretty much a carbon copy of the exact same episode.
Yeah, I would say that's like the second or third time that I think they've copied Kenobi in this. It's even interesting that they use the Force sister. She was in that show all of like what 3 minutes is that too. So she actually probably has more screen time on this show than she did in Kenobi. I don't even know why they used her. If they knew they wanted to bring Reva, then just do Reva and don't bring these other characters in. But again, that's a whole conversation for another stream. So one of the lines I really liked is she says, "Anger makes you predictable," and because basically, I mean, just think about it, man. When they go angry, these Sith, it's like strike, 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 and this actually reminded me a little bit of Luke, believe it or not, in Return of the Jedi, because in that battle with Darth Vader, Luke is using, I think he's losing all the emotions. He's not. I don't think he's using skill. He is literally. He wants to strike Vader down. He wants to end it. And when he's hammering and hammering and hammering on Vader, dude, it's awesome. Like it's not like these Jedi moves that we've seen in the prequels and even some of the animation and that we're probably gonna end up seeing in the Acolyte. But Luke is so much different in Return of the Jedi. And then he gets a little bit more. We don't see a lot of his lightsaber in Mandalorian season 2, but we do get a little bit more. You see a little bit more of the smoothness of the swings and being able to use the Force as well. Whereas in Return, man, he's just like balls to the wall, just go.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of reminded me of. She's like just trying to strike her down. Her anger took over her. So I love the line. I thought the line was perfect.
Yeah, good catch.
And then finally, she just lets her go because she basically was just wasting time. So she lets her go to the cave. And then she's searching around the cave and basically gets lost. And she can't find her way out. And basically after that, she is then calling out to Barriss. She's through the Force saying, "Can you please help me get out of here? Help me get out of here." And Barriss, they're having a small conversation about, this isn't really you. Think about what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. What did you say? As soon as, oh, yeah. As soon as, you're right. So as soon as he brings up sister, If you will not turn, perhaps she will. That's a horrible Vader, by the way. So Lucasfilm won't be calling me soon to animate Vader or voice Vader. So after that, she starts swinging her saber around, and out of nowhere, dude, she just gets stabbed. So she just blocked all of these crazy. I was so confused on this after watching this 3 times, and I rewound this scene just by itself like 4 times today. And I'm like, why? Like what? Like all of a sudden she's just standing there after she just showed off like all her moves to be able to like, the only thing I can think of, and I don't know what you think, Ryan, but did she let her do it on purpose to bring her back to the light? I don't know. I mean, it could be, I guess, but I mean, why would you take a stab? I mean, look what the stab is here, dude. That's almost not even stomach area there. That's like right. That's like lower chest almost. I mean, that. I don't know how that doesn't kill you, but
yeah,
I don't think her name is Qui-Gon, so she might be okay.
Or Reva, or Reva. So she's probably not going to be okay. I don't know, bro. This kind of did mess me up a little bit because I was like, is she just going to let her die in the cave? Is she going to help her? What is she going to do? And then, when she's just standing there completely defenseless and she takes that hit, it looks like she's willing to take it with her hands the way they are. It's like, you have a good point of, did she let her do it on purpose to bring her in? Maybe to see her, Lynn had hurt somebody that she cared about and she didn't mean to, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was probably the weakest of the 3. It was a definite weird ending, but it was a cliffhanger at the same time. So I like it because we don't know where it's going.
Yeah, it was so odd for me. But then we'll see this. So, they're looking up whatever, and they're talking, and then is this really this scene right here? Again, look at the blue, the glove. So hand on the chest, just like she was doing to the other Jedi in the previous episode. So do we have
force healing?
We have force healing here. And that's why I brought up the force healing the first time, because I kind of feel like it was a kind of a theme. And if she survives, I mean, there it is. I mean, now, unfortunately, it's, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because like, we've seen how many people now get stabbed with lightsabers and they don't die, which is, it's just.
That's a very good point, Chillin. I never thought of that. They could be making a messianic reference. Dave, like George, throws in things with religious themes and iconography. Yeah. Good point. That's good. With the hands out, it was a very Jesus pose. So yeah. I mean, force healing again could be. What's the orange light on her hand? Is that just a reflection of something? Okay. It's just the lights coming from her buckle, from her wrist buckle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But then we do see Lynn leave her saber behind and carries Barriss out. And then the final shot, we see them kind of walking out of the cave. And we basically fade to black, and we have absolutely no idea if Barriss is really dead or is she still alive.
What confused me was, how did she get out carrying Barriss, but she couldn't get out in the first place, and she needed Barriss help to help her get out?
I know, and is it Barriss telling her where to go? That's why I think that she has to be alive. At least maybe she ends up dying. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I
think the animal was a symbol that she was alive. I think the animal was a symbol in front of our eyes to say, here is life, have hope. I think that's what that symbolizes.
Yeah. I mean, before we get to the last slide here, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop this down for a minute. So here's why I didn't like this. So we have a character that we see in the Clone Wars, and she has an amazing arc. She ends up going against everything the Jedi stood for because she didn't believe that the Jedi were being honest. Yes, she frames Ahsoka, but she also has killed people. And I'm not saying bad people either. She's actually killed good people. I mean, we saw her kill her friend. I mean, granted, now she didn't have a choice. I get it. But she's done things to take her to that dark side. And I wish that they just would have kept it. We already saw Asajj. She's already kind of flip-flopped. Now, Asajj is interesting because she really was just all against Dooku and Grievous. She, I mean, that's who she worked for, because remember, Dooku was her master and she was the apprentice, and I wanted to kill him. And so but we've already kind of seen her flip. I don't know, man. Can we get someone that just is a bad guy? Like, why can't we do that in Star Wars anymore? Like, and I get it, man. Star Wars is all about redemption arcs. But does every single character need to be redeemed? Like, I mean, think about it. I feel like every character we see in this point in Star Wars is redeemed. I mean, my God, dude, they redeemed General Hux, for God's sake, in Rise of Skywalker. I mean, how terrible was that? That was awful. Like what?
Yeah,
Like, this guy?
I do think that you will get.
I'm the spy.
It's horrible. I don't even know why I have that on here.
I do think you'll get your wish with Shin Hati, though, just to go off a little bit of a tangent there. I do think that she will be with no redemption. I think that could work.
Dude, I don't know. See, I already thought that Shin Hati was going to switch over. I really did. Now, granted, they're
No, I don't
supposedly
think she will
not
anymore.
really bad or good guys, with the orange sabers and all that. But obviously, they're hanging out with Thrawn, doing his work or whatever. So, I don't know, man. It's just I am frustrated. I really, really wanted her to become. I wanted her to be. Well, maybe not because she's dead now, but I think it would have been cool for her to be the fifth sister.
Is Sarah Michelle Gellar's sister still alive?
Yeah, I think it would have been cool. I mean, they look somewhat similar with the skin. I mean, I have no idea if they're the same species. I don't know for sure at all, but I do think that it would have been really interesting. And then you know what? Then we have how she got into it, and then we know she dies. So the arc is over. Her story is over. So she did the backwards thing. She started in the light, went to the dark, and then she got so much into it.
I think
don't know.
They've left it on a cliffhanger so that maybe she can come back and save the day in the movie or the TV show that's coming. Like, maybe Ahsoka's in trouble and she turns up and saves the day because she never really died in that cave. I think that's where she's now been left as like a callback or a surprise entrance in one of the new shows.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, everyone but Palps. I mean, Grievous didn't get. I mean, Grievous was in the show for 2 seconds, though. He was a complete waste in Revenge of the Sith in my eyes. I thought they wasted that character. Again, I think we talked about this last week. How I absolutely love Grievous in Clone Wars. He was awesome, so much better character. But in Revenge of the Sith, it's like George just wanted someone in there just to fight Obi-Wan. Like I feel like that's the only reason why he was even in that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then they had him be the droid leader, or the leader of the droids or whatever. So. But yeah, I mean, look at Boba Fett. Boba Fett has a redemption arc. I mean, Boba Fett was such a badass, and he's a good guy now, basically. I don't know.
According to the new TV show, it looks like Jar Jar's going the other way. So, like, why are you moaning, bro?
No, dude, I can't wait. Jar Jar.
I cannot wait. That's going to bring so many Star Wars fans to watch that show just with that one thing. But I just pray that isn't the only thing that we see. Like, is that the scene we see and then, like, the Ewok bounty hunters come in and blow up Jar Jar's ship and that was the only thing we get? Like, I'll be annoyed. I really will be annoyed.
I'm pretty sure the way that's going to go is that something happened and they show that one, like, glowing Lego piece and it's like a multiverse or something. And this is what happens if this happened. And we see the whole story play out, and at the end, it gets reversed and goes back.
Well, I know I'll be doing a watch party for that one because that one's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go. So we'll see though. Maybe they'll surprise me. But all right. Well, anyways, so before we get to the last slide here, so do you all right? So overall, then you give this arc a what? I think last week you gave it an 8. You gave Morgan's an 8. I gave it a 9. And then what do you give this one?
I give this one a 9. It's better than the first arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, the first episode, 10 out of 10. I wish they would have went the other way and had her actually stay an Inquisitor. I just think it would have been more interesting because, like you said, I do think she will show up again. I really do. I mean, it may be a Barriss Offee and Asajj Ventress show. It might be because at this point, I thought it was going to be Omega, and I think Omega at this point is already doing her own thing with the Rebels. And do we need another Force sensitive? Not really. I just find it really confusing why we had that entire episode in the Bad Batch. And I know you didn't watch it, but it was so odd that Asajj shows up. They do a little bit of like fighting and training, and she's gone and nothing. I don't. It's really odd. And then the way they ended the Bad Batch is that it's just like a decade later, and she's off going to the rebellion. And supposedly, she's now a pilot in like the Death Star run and all that kind of stuff. I guess I don't know. But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
And you forget about Sabine. Like they seem to be building these Force sensitive females just from the ground up, and then not going anywhere with them. Like Sabine was doing the same thing. I don't know where it's going, bro. Are we going to get like an Avengers style all women Jedi group or something? I don't know where it's going.
It's gonna be like Ghostbusters with all the girls.
Oh, epic movie. That the one with Thor.
Was Thor in that movie? That movie so I never watched it. I can't do it.
Thor was the guy answering the telephone in the fire station.
Well, was that Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it really? I didn't even know. I never saw it, so it just looked terrible. People tell me it was terrible. So, but all right. Well, I guess the last thing I'll say before we get to the last slideshow, and then we'll get on out of here. I would say that the top 3 things that I think will come is I think you're definitely going to get a Saj Ventress in something, because why did they bring her back? So she's going to either be in her new series. I would love to see her live action. I don't think it's going to happen though. Barriss, I could see being in Ahsoka, because if you're going to continue this redemption, then you got to bring Ahsoka back in, because this is the reason why she went down the wrong road anyways. So I feel like Barriss we could possibly see her in Ahsoka. Now, again, I don't know how they're going to do it, because, I guess they were probably about the same age. So I don't know who you're going to get to play her, because I think that'd be cool, though, this year in live. I'd rather see Asajj Ventress in live. I just don't think it's going to happen, though. I
could see Florence Pugh playing her.
Yeah, that would work. With a little bit of makeup. Asajj, the problem with Asajj is the way her face is structured and just her species. It's a hard one to do. Or did they do that and they give her blonde hair because it's easier to cast?
I want Helen Mirren. I want a bold Helen Mirren to play Asajj Ventress.
Asajj?
Yeah, a bold Helen Mirren. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't have a big head like the Grand Inquisitor did in Kenobi. Because she's got that skinny face too.
Awesome, Charles.
And then,
yes,
and then number 3, I don't think I'm gonna make a video on this, so I did want to bring this up. Did you see the big casting news for the Mandalorian and Grogu? Did you see this?
Why would I see that news, bro?
For Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
Bro.
Okay, the Mandalorian movie, bro. Okay, forget the Grogu part.
No, even the Mandalorian movie, bro. I'm done down with it. It's like that last season was terrible.
I know.
And like, what they're gonna do? How are they gonna redeem it with me? Is it even Pedro Pascal? What's the news?
Yeah, he'll be in there. He'll at least be voicing it. I don't know. They said that they announced that I think Sigourney Weaver is joining it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So that might be kind of cool.
Piques my interest a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, as long as she doesn't play the same character as Izzo or Lizzo or is it Lizzo? I don't even know, dude.
Lizzo and Jack Black.
I got a whole Grogu. It's in my contract. Fuck out of here, dude. All right. Boom. Last week we did some. Last week we did some. So here's 5 new ones. Which one do you want to see?
And this is weird because last week we did this. And then we got this like whole Lego thing that came out, and it was kind of what we were talking about, how it was a mashup of stuff. And I was like, where did that news come from?
Yeah. So I put some different ones up here. Which one you in for? Jabba's band. You want to see backstory? How they got together? What do you think, dude? If you had to pick one of these, what are you thinking? And just to let you know, the Wookiee one would all be like, just that's all it is the whole time, with no subtitles. I guess Ewoks would be the same thing. Chillin says
Ewoks would be cool because Ewoks would be cool. It would be supporting the small people. I mean, giving them more roles in TV.
Tales of the Resistance, dude. You could have the backstory of Rose Tico, of Admiral Holdo. I mean, dude, that would be fire, dude. Oh, I want to know more about Rose.
I would like to see the Wookiees. I think that would be cool. But something takes me towards the Pod Racer pilots. I think that would be a cool cartoon.
It would be cool,
if
right?
We had
and
people like you could have in one episode you meet these new characters. Yeah. They have a little bit of an argument. They build a new ship, a race pod racer, and then they race it at the end of the season. It'd be cool little race kind of thing. But I don't know.
Tales of Jabba's band and how Max survives the bombing I guess that was the Book of Boba Fett, right? Wait, was that confirmed that Max was alive or no? Was Max Rebo?
I think Max Rebo is still alive. Yeah, I believe he is.
Was that a confirmed that he survived that bombing?
I believe he. Yeah,
Dude,
he went out the back for a cigarette when the bombs hit.
Dude, I'm in for a Max Rebo prequel.
General
Let's
Grievous
see how
19.
I want to see how it all started. What did Snice Noodles do to get that job singing in Jabba's palace? That's episode 4. Oh, now we're just getting silly, people. What's up, General Grievous? We're just talking about General Grievous.
We'll most probably get Tales of the Resistance, though, something like that. Tales of the Rebel Alliance or something.
Yeah, as long as it's not Roast Ego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how interested I would be in Poe Dameron. You know, I don't know.
As long as they give me backstory as to how those horses can run in space on top of a ship, then I'll be fine. As long as they fill in that one important detail for me, then I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Running on this ship, yeah.
Yeah, how are the horses just not floating off into space?
Oh, I want to see the backstory of how Palpatine built all the ships too. That's the other thing I want to see. I mean, it took him how many years to build that Death Star, and then he has, dude. Do you remember that one shot in Rise? Dude, there's like a million of these ships. And then
I told you that the other day. That's my favorite scene. That's my favorite scene. Yeah, the ship. That ship is my favorite Star Wars ship.
It literally makes no sense at all.
I know, but it's just deadly and badass. And maybe that's why they introduced the Lego thing, because they're going to figure out, they're going to do Lego somehow made its way into the Star Wars world when it came to the sequels. So, like, Palpatine just makes these Lego ships and then he puts them in a portal and they come real. Maybe that's what happens. Tales of Babu Frick.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, I know.
Baby.
He does swear in it, doesn't he? He does swear.
Dude, I swear to God. I swear he says it. I swear to God he says it. Or we just do that.
Misa going to hurt you, sir. Darth Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Dude, I want Darth Jar Jar to be canon. That's all I know.
I just know that I want that in Star Wars Lego. Because I want Jar Jar. I can get the lightsabers and then I can reenact it. And I can have the high ground.
Dude, where's Umpty been, man? We've been talking about Jar Jar for 2 weeks now. Doesn't show up for the Jar Jar talk. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's been a good one, guys. We appreciate everyone being here tonight. I don't know if I'll be here next week. I haven't decided. I know I want to take a week off because guys, remember we have gosh, Brian, we got so much we got to talk about too. So we have Acolyte that comes out June 4th. We will be live on Wednesday nights at I think 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be breaking those down right away. And then starting on, is it June 16th? I think it's June 16th. We have House of the Dragon season 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be breaking down things like twice a week. So if I don't take off next week, I'll take off the week after. But it'll be one of the weeks probably. And then I know for the member giveaway this month, I have a special Lego foil pack that I got. So that will be the giveaway for June. So we'll probably do that. I don't know. Do we do that during the watch or doing the review of Acolyte? I guess we can. Maybe I'll just run that. Maybe I'll run that on June 4th. We'll just run it. And the boys
drop in June. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that with anticipation. One of the best TV shows on the planet.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I'm trying to think how the boys.
And they cast.
Is this season 3?
I believe they cast Jeffrey D. Morgan. I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Jeffrey D. Morgan's going to be in the new Boys season.
Is this season 4?
5.
Dude, what happened in season 4? Why can't I remember?
I could be wrong, but I'm sure it might be 3, and then that's why, because I'm thinking the spin-off with the V.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the spin-off series.
The last season ended with Captain America dude. I can't remember his name now. What's his name? The guy he's kind of like Captain America. Yeah, season 4. Okay, I know I've watched all 3 seasons. I was like, man, you said 5 for a second. I'm like, man, did I skip a season?
Yeah, because I was counting Gen
Yeah.
V because it's extra stuff.
I
And it
never
follows through into The Boys.
I still haven't watched that. Do I need to watch it?
Bro, Gen V is better than The Boys, I think.
Is it? All right. Well, maybe we'll get that. Maybe when school is over, I have more time during the day. Because I'm sure Dream would want to watch that too. So, but anyways, guys, yeah. So we'll be live on Wednesdays and Thursdays starting on June 4th, and then I'm on vacation in July, and I don't know what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a mess for a few weeks. Huh?
Wednesdays and Thursdays, did you just say?
Wednesday and Sundays.
Okay, Wednesdays and Sundays, yeah. And then I'll be
Wednesday,
live on Mondays as well.
Yeah,
So
it'll be Wednesday,
Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, Wednesday at 9 p.m. That way people have until 9 p.m. to basically watch the episode. And remember, on June 4th, it's a double episode too. And then House of the Dragon, it's late, I know. And I know, Ryan, you're such a trooper for doing this, but I know you wouldn't miss it for the world. But
it's my one show.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's when I get to flex my knowledge and my muscles,
yep.
you know?
Yeah. But yeah, it's usually right around 10:15, I think is what time we schedule it for, because sometimes those episodes go a little long, maybe 10:10. We usually like to give a couple minutes so we can actually log on, because I don't watch it on my computer. I watch it on the big TV with the speakers and everything else. And that way, if I have to pause or rewind something because I skip something or
that's Sunday night straight after the episode, and then Monday we'll do breakdown detailed slideshows.
Yep, and then and actually Monday we're live on Ryan's channel doing the detailed breakdown. Yep, yeah. The Sunday's more of an instant reaction, where Monday is going to be more like kind of what we did tonight with the slideshow and kind of breaking each part down. Brian does a great job putting those slideshows together. So actually, you'll see us 3 times, and then Horseman's another day. So you'll be live.
Yeah, and then I have Horseman on Friday night. Yeah, I'll be live 4 days a week when it comes back. I love it though, bro. That's what I live for. You know, I love the YouTube life. All
right, well, guys, again, we thank you so much for being here. Check out the channel memberships. $2.99 a month help support the channel. You are entered into the bi-monthly giveaways. You get shout out at the end of every
new names in
single
the
video. And I got five wonderful people that are with me, and they've been with me forever. Ryan, obviously, you're here every single night. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate it so much. And check out the merch store. I actually have a new. Actually, I can throw it up in the corner here really quick. I'm thinking about making some new shirts with this logo on it, with the Hellas Horde one. I wanted to do something.
Connect.
What'd you say?
I was just saying to Chillin in the chat to reach out with his or their links and Instagram stuff or whatever, so we can connect with them.
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter.
They have their own show as well. So
yeah, I follow Chillin on Twitter, also on YouTube as well. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Send me a message to Instagram, and I'll follow you on there as well, Chillin. So yeah, he's a good. I popped in his live a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, we actually we kind of met through Josh from Den Nerds. So
nice.
That's kind of how
I'll check out the next stream when I find one. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, so
yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to keep those heads on, stay milky, and we will see you guys in the next video.